Michael Burry, the man who once predicted the housing market crash in 2008, is back with another bone-chilling warning that we cannot ignore. His latest prediction is enough to make even the bravest among us tremble with fear. According to Burry, a new collapse is looming, and it has the potential to be even more catastrophic than last time. Brace yourself for the impending doom as Burry unveils his dire warning about the impending collapse that will change a generation. What is the root cause of this impending disaster, and what can we do to protect ourselves? The stakes are high, and the clock is ticking, so prepare yourself for a shocking revelation that will make your blood run cold. The infamous Burry, renowned for his uncanny predictions, graced the digital realm through his Twitter handle CassandраBC. However, the enigmatic enigma chose to conceal his insights by deleting his tweets the moment they were released. Oh, why does he toy with us so? Perhaps to heighten his mystique and elevate his status as a deity amongst mere mortals. Is a man truly impenetrable to scrutiny? Fear not, for his loyal disciples and the omnipresent screenshot feature ensure that his opinions are forever etched into the annals of time. The Burry archive stands as a testament to the power of the devoted few who preserve the legacy of their master. Yet beware, for once you enter the realm of fame, the paparazzi and the fanatics never cease their watchful gaze. Oh Burry, who starred in The Big Short, may you never forget the price of your success as the world continues to scrutinize your every move. What ominous signs does the future hold, and how shall we allocate our riches? Let us speak of the eminent American tycoon and hedge fund mogul, Michael James Burry, whose name resounds throughout the realm of finance and economics. From humble beginnings, having just completed his residency at the hospital, he forged his own hedge fund with a bold vision. Burry's astute investment decisions soon caught the attention of the financial powerhouses like the Vanguard Group and the insurance arm of White Mountain, earning him a formidable reputation. The glory of his success shone even brighter when he created Screon Capital, his very own hedge fund which skyrocketed to great heights. Yet it was his prescience and perception of the deceitful mortgage lending practices that loomed over the financial world like a dark omen. What bold move did Burry make to prepare for the inevitable crash, and what lessons can we learn from his strategy? In early 2005, Burry prophesied that the real estate bubble, swollen and engorged, would inevitably burst by 2007. Thus, he seized the opportunity to short the market and convinced investment companies to sell him credit default swaps. Alas, his grim prediction came true as the real estate market plunged into a state of utter despair. The global financial crisis, the most catastrophic since the Great Depression of the 1990s, sent shockwaves across the world. Yet, amidst the widespread chaos and poverty, Burry's wealth flourished, amassing over $100 million for himself and over $700 million for his investors. Truly, he reaped the rewards of his foresight while the rest of the world suffered. But at what cost to the greater good? The world was on the brink of a disaster, and Burry knew it. The bank crisis was like a ticking time bomb, ready to explode at any moment. Experts warned that it would rival the Great Recession of 2008, the worst financial disaster in living memory. But this time, it was different. This time, it was personal. Silicon Valley Bank had been at the forefront of technological advancements, pushing the boundaries of what was possible. But it was all for nothing. The state-chartered commercial bank had been shut down, leaving thousands of people scrambling for answers. How could this happen? How could one of the most successful banks in the world collapse so suddenly? And it wasn't just SVB. Banks across the country were failing, unable to cope with the rising interest rates. It was like a domino effect, with each bank collapsing like a house of cards. People were desperate for answers, turning to professionals to evaluate the situation. They hoped that a select few might be able to foresee what was coming to save them from the impending disaster. Burry had seen it all before. He had been there during the last crisis, and he knew what was coming. People were paying attention to him once again, hanging on to his every word. They wanted to know what he had to say about the banking crisis and other economic issues. Would he be able to save them this time, or was it already too late? It was the second day of the year 2023 when Burry tweeted a tweet that would rock the entire economy to its core. He claimed that the inflation peak had already passed, but little did he know the cycle was far from over. In the second half of the year, the CPI Consumer Price Index was expected to plummet, even reaching negative levels, and the US was on the brink of an unavoidable recession. Despite banks collapsing left and right, the Fed remained adamant, continuously raising interest rates. But Burry knew that his prediction would come true. Inflation would rise again, and it was only a matter of time. The Fed's interest rates reflected a false sense of security, and it was only a matter of time before the peak was reached once more. June 2023 came, and with it, the highest record inflation rate since the Great Recession, a staggering 9.1%. Burry's prediction had been proven right, and the January and February percentages of 6.4% and 6% were a mere glimpse of what was to come. As the banking crisis continued to unfold, Burry's ominous warning still lingered in the air. Inflation would reach its peak once again, and the consequences would be dire. Will the economy crumble under the weight of inflation, or will it somehow manage to weather the storm? The banking world was in shambles, and chaos ensued, but no one seemed to care. No one. Amidst the turmoil, Michael Burry, the master of numbers, was able to see through the chaos and predict the rise of the CPI once again. But his predictions were not what frightened people. It was the fact that he believed the catastrophe would strike sooner rather than later. In the midst of all this, Burry took to Twitter to voice his controversial opinion on Salesforce's job cuts. Outrage filled the air as the company reduced employment by 10% to save costs. But Burry's fiery tweet suggested that the reduction should have been 25% instead. As the tension rose, Mark Bainoff, the co-chief executive officer of Salesforce, owned up to his mistakes and accepted responsibility for the economic downturn. On January the 23rd, 2023, Michael Burry posted a tweet that sent chills down everyone's spine. The tweet only contained the word maybe and an image of an unsettling graph. In the graph, the S&P 500 was represented and was shown falling from the picture, which was encompassed by an area that experienced a slight upward trajectory from September 2001 to March 2002. What did Burry mean by maybe? Was he suggesting that it's time to sell? Was this the last peak before the value of the S&P 500 started to decline? As the market teetered on the brink of collapse, all eyes turned to the infamous Burry, the master of short selling. When his tweet hit the internet, it sent shockwaves through the financial world. It confirmed the rumor that he had been urging his followers to sell their shares for weeks. But was his tweet sincere, or was it all just a sarcastic ploy to further manipulate the market? Many of his followers saw the chart that accompanied the tweet as proof of his sarcastic intent, and they began selling their shares immediately. But then, a long period of silence followed, leaving the financial world in a state of uncertainty. Suddenly, out of nowhere, Burry tweeted the cryptic message, 2000, 2008, 2023, it's always the same. Was he alluding to the looming financial crisis, and what did he mean by the mention of the year 2023? Burry then unleashed another tweet, blasting ESG funds for their slothful ways and their role in the collapse of the banking system. But was it just another mocking remark, or was it a sincere warning to the world? Burry's subsequent tweet added to the mystery. My hope is that the human race will reverse direction, away from impatient, lazy shortcuts always and everywhere. Was this a call to action, or was it too late to reverse the course of history? As the world plunged into chaos, Michael Burry's tweets caused a frenzy on social media and financial news outlets. With each tweet, the world waited with bated breath to see what would happen next. The banking crisis was at an all-time high, and everyone was on the edge. But amidst the chaos, there was still hope. Burry was a man of action, and he continued to buy and sell stocks that he believed in, even during these trying times. His eye for potential was unmatched, and his recent investment in Curate Retailing series had paid off. The stock had risen by 20%, and things were looking up. However, the world was still on the edge of a knife. The markets were volatile, and anything could happen. With Burry's investments heavily focused on Chinese companies, many wondered if he was playing a dangerous game. But despite the risks, people continued to follow his every move, hoping to benefit from his prescient genius. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, the world watched and waited. Would the banking crisis be resolved? Would Burry's investments pay off? As we've seen from his past predictions, he has a knack for spotting trouble before it hits. Remember, the collapse that Burry predicts will be unlike anything we've ever seen before, and we need to be ready. So let's take action now while we have time. If you have found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and family. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more updates. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.